think it's gone. I think the lights have gone red or green. Whatever colour they go. Good morning, evening, afternoon. Hello, all one and all. Welcome to Wednesday, a Wednesday stream. I've been thinking hard about frustums, not frustrum as I was wont to type, although I still will continue to pronounce it. Frustum Culling. So yeah, I've done a little bit of research, but not loads, and I've definitely I've not written any code on this, so I'm going to try and. The aim of today's stream is to try and figure this out. We'll do a quick recap of where we are and what we're trying to do for anyone who's coming along or has forgotten, for anyone new or for anyone who has forgotten since Sunday. Moose, Emery, Queco, Julian, hello. Mario, changing the test from last time today. We do need to go back and fix the test, well remembered. I want to get the Frustum Culling, indeed culling first, or the testing, because we're not technically culling. We could integrate it into the rendering pipeline once we've done it, but I'm not that fussed for what we're doing at the moment. We need to do the visibility checks. Occlusion culling, yeah, it's basically visibility check, right? There's a multitude of ways of doing it. I think you can do it with raycasting, you can do it with occlusion queries in OpenGL. I maybe somewhat naively thought Frustum culling would be the simplest way, and it certainly was not simple enough to bash out in 30 minutes or an hour or whatever it was last stream, but I think today we're going to give it a go trying to get it sorted. So yeah, let's just wait for people to roll in and see where we get to. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, is there an Intel paper? Interesting. I found a couple of articles that I'm going to basically go through live and hope, ? Yeah, a little bit more maths heavy today, or at least my understanding of the maths. I'm not a maths person. I don't know, like scholar. I don't know, mathematician. A mathematician would probably be the word. I think we're about to get a paper sent to us, which is exciting. You might not be able to post links. Did further maths at A level. Humble brag. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. But yeah, then we got a bit of tidying up to do, and we'll see what we get to. Diplom kex. Apologies if I've butchered that. Glad you're enjoying the videos. I'm glad you're finding them useful. I think there is a lot of value in showing people my whole kind of ethos is to show people what you can do with a computer, and I think for a lot of people, even if they are in a professional field, professional engineer, like software engineering field, might not know that there's kind of all this stuff you can do. So that's kind of what I want to showcase in a fun and entertaining way. Except for the last video, which just kind of flopped, but that's a bit but I was expecting that. It is what it is. That's the YouTube game we all play. I guess I should just go back to reverse engineering old games that people recognize. Yeah, I'll have a look. If we get stuck, I'll have a look. It sounds interesting. But yeah, I kind of aim to, scratch that itch. There you go. Right, okay. Enough gassing. So where did we get to last time? Just a quick summary of what we got. I think I have this. My goodness. I literally built and checked all this ran literally about 5 minutes ago, and if it's already broken, that is absolutely terrifying. I had it running, I had it up, I was like, okay, it all works, good, let's go. Yeah, I commented out, so there are, off to a good start. There are tests that are missing, just generally are missing. We commented out the matrix tests last time because, one, the matrix tests are not very good. But two, we changed the constructor interface and they all broke, and I've undecided whether I like that change or not. So rather than spending time back and forth refactoring the tests. Let's get the code working, and then we'll go back and we'll fix up the tests and maybe add some more. That's kind of my plan. I literally have no idea why this is not running. I start the game. Can't find a file. So I'm kind of... I think I've lost the resource. So the problem I had, yeah, the resource file is missing. Good spot. I couldn't commit the so I wanted to clean up the working tree. So I thought I'll commit the resource, the packed resource file. And then when I went to push it up, Git was like, no, too big. And I was like, I can't be able to set up Git large file system overall. So I thought I will unstage it. And as it's in a Git ignore, I thought we'll keep the file, but just won't track it through Git anymore. And it looks like I've managed to delete the file, but I think I should be able to probably rebuild it. It just takes a little bit of time. Hi to the kids. Let's just rebuild it. That's fine. So what I'll do is, whilst that is doing C++ things, because it's pretty slow, I found this article. I think Queco either suggested it last time or suggested an article, and I found this one instead. So I'm not quite sure whether this was the intended one, but through his suggestion I found this one. It's fine vintage, only 10 years old. But then it's like, I think this guy is pretty smart and probably knows what he's talking about, and he's like, here's what most implementations do. Certainly not what I do, because mine doesn't work, but I would like to be classified as, I strive to be in the group of most implementations. And basically he says you do this and it works, and then you check the 8 corners, and basically see which side of the plane they're on, and you end up with this, right? So let me just embiggen this a bit. You end up with this, where these would be successfully culled and this wouldn't, because some of these corners lie within the planes. And he's basically saying that if you've got certain like massive objects that are outside, they could still clip into the plane, so this is not technically correct. However, I am willing to accept this because we control the scene and we're not doing massive objects and we're not doing it for culling, we're literally just doing it for visibility. And I think he says like this method produces minimal false positives. Yeah, if you have an engine that's handling big scale objects, which we're not. So I think this might be kind of what we want. Yes, there is an updated 2016 one as well, which I started looking through. However, I'm still willing to bet for the moment on the fact that the simple case is still the simple case, and that's all we want. So you loop through your 6. I had found some of his code somewhere. I seem to have lost the link to it. His Frustum 3 is 6 plane objects, which are X, Y, Z, W, which is what we've got. So a normal and a distance, and then he just dot products those with the various corners. So I think we're going to give this a go. I think we'll give this a go and then we'll see what happens. Let's see if this is finished rebuilding first. I would actually quite like to get the code running. It's a little bit right. So then I want to move resources up until assets. Did I call it resources in total? Is that what I call it? I think it's called resources. Or is it resource? Let's check the code. Right. Been a long day. Been a long day. I thought we'd be able to jump straight into code, but here we are. Load resource. Okay, so let's move resource to resource 2. I'll do right. I really hope this works. I really don't want to spend the whole stream fixing something I broke. I'll just pull it out of the ref log if I need to. It's looking more promising. It's definitely loading something. Right, okay. Whew. Whew. Panic over. Panic over. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. So here we've got this. So we've got some barrels which should move as part of our, we have a pipeline set up of transformations, of tests, the kind of things that would make the barrels move in interesting ways depending on outside stimulus. At the moment, that is just us. So if we move right, some of them move right. If we move right, some of them move left, blah, 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 blah. We're trying to add one which does a visibility check. So the idea is that we would have the flexibility to make them move if we are looking at them, or if we are not looking at them, the choice will be up to us. At the moment, nothing moves. And if you look away, one of them moves for a very short amount and then never moves again. So I would argue this was not what I intended and is therefore a bug. So I just kind of shoved a lot of this code into main, which is where you put all your best code. I think this might be okay. So actually also, I also found this. So in Learn OpenGL, which is one of the best websites ever, they have a similar thing on how to do all this and some of the maths, and they have how to create the frustum from the camera. I think there's a slightly different, but it's okay. And then they have to do this. So we've got like a backup as well. So we've got plenty of options today to try and get all this working. Yeah, okay, fine. So intersects. I was largely dismissive of this code because I had the Oracle generate it, and whilst I use some LLMs, I am generally I have a healthy I maintain a healthy level of skepticism of the output, and I was skeptical of the output, and I was right because it didn't work. So let's do this. So we should be able to do like steady, right, for const auto plain in plain, so a little bit of C++ range-based for loops. We've got our 6 planes, we're going to go through them all, and this basically says auto out equals 0, 0, and then you get to the end, you basically do if at any point, if you get to the end of one of these and out is equal to 8u, 8y, making up more integral types, just make it up as we go along. You return false, else if you get all the way to the end then you return true. So I guess the game now is like what influences this, and this is an accumulator of all the different plane corner intersections. So I think what we need is, before we start, we need to sprinkle some more maths into this. You know what? We just don't have enough maths. There's just not enough maths to go around. There's a worldwide shortage of maths. Anyway, I'll stop now. We need a dot product for the vector 4, which I reluctantly added. Apparently I made it static. Not really sure why. I'm going to clean all this up later. I prefer free methods by and large. Like I prefer non-friend, non-member functions where possible. I'd rather keep the class itself as lean as possible, with a very kind of like tight, well-defined interface, and then have effectively other people apply additional functionality onto that. You can then use ADL, I know it's, or maybe even CPOs to look up some of the other functionality, but again, for the sake of making progress and to not kind of have a brain aneurysm over analyzing this, sometimes you just got to get on and write some code. So this question comes up a lot. I'm happy to keep answering it, but my answer is unfortunately probably the same, and it's also probably not what you want. So the question is, when am I going to finish off the Diablo 2 Vulkan video? So that video is one of my most popular. I think it's nearly 500,000 views, which is absolutely absurd. Like, that is absurd. Why are nearly 500,000 people watch me prat around with terrible Vulkan code? The videos I make, apologies if you've heard this before, but I'm going to say it again. The videos I make take a non-trivial amount of effort to produce. I can, with the other stuff that I've got going in my life, family and work and stuff, I can about get a video out once a month. Okay, so it takes about 4 weeks to produce a video, and that's fine. Like, I'm totally accepting of that, and I'm happy to put the time and effort in. I kind of, for that 4 weeks, I am very much incentivized to try and maximize the amount I can get out of YouTube. I think part of that is just human nature. Like I want to see good return for my time, and I want to enjoy doing it as well. That has to be kind of a big factor of it. The way YouTube works is, and I've experimented with this before, and I can kind of see it for in the data and the analytics. Sequels don't tend to do as well because, like, what do you name it, right? Because I could be like Diablo 2 Vulcan Continued, or Diablo 2 Vulcan Part 2, and it instantly that puts off everyone who's never seen the first one. So it will just by its very nature not do as well, because people are less likely to click a Part 2 if they've not seen Part 1. Or the other one is I try and structure it as a whole fresh video, in which case I'd have to repeat a lot of the stuff I've already done in the first one to kind of create the journey to go on to get to understanding it. So I'm just not, at the moment, I have other things that I want to work on, which I think would be a better use of my... better use is a terrible way of saying it, because I understand people enjoy it and they want to see the results. There are other things I need to work on before then, I think. I'm not saying... It's on my to-do list. It's my to-do list that never gets to done. I've not written it off. I just have... It is not in my sort of short-term content creation pipeline plan at the moment, I'm afraid. I'd like to visit back. I would like to revisit it one day. I think there's some interesting stuff you could do with like compute shaders and upscaling and stuff like that. Yeah, it could be a stream series. I think that's a really good shout. I think maybe after we make this game, and I'll probably want to do something different for a bit, maybe we could revisit that. Maybe even like... So my most popular live stream, sorry, I'm kind of guessing a bit, but you know, you're here and you're listening to me. The best live stream I've ever done, the most popular one, was the companion one for that video, where I kind of went through some of the stuff live, which I've stopped doing because I'm focusing on this, but I did quite enjoy doing, you upload a video and then the next live stream, you kind of go through some of the stuff and get people to ask questions. So maybe that's a good idea. I'll cogitate on that. After this series, maybe we'll do that as a live series. But we'll see. So it's not... I think the long-winded way what I'm trying to say is like, maybe. Okay, right. So now some actual code. So now we can do out plus equals. So this wants to take the. So this is interesting. So what they do, and I need to check this is right. This is the one bit I'm unsure about. Is they construct a vector 4 from the plain dot hold on one moment, caller. Just realized I'm missing something. Is this gonna be a circular dependence? No, because it's all context, right? Ignore me. Right, okay. Let's include vector 3. Okay, and then the const extra vector 4 const vector 3 xyz float w. Right, okay. And then we should be able to do vector basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to construct a vector 4 from a vector 3, but give you the ability to add the additional parameter, and that makes sense in a minute. So what have I got? I can do xyz dot x, xyz dot y, xyz dot z. Okay, right. So the code I was looking at, what it does is it constructs a vector 4 from the plane and the distance. So basically does from the normal and the distance. Now, maybe that just makes the code work. My only skepticism around that is I don't know if this vector 4 needs some sort of normalizing. I suspect no, because you care about the absolute position of the plane, but I remain, like all code I read, I remain skeptical of its efficacy. I only do eloquent answers, I'm afraid. It's unfortunately, it's just the way it is, just the way I speak. Yeah, I thought I wanted the absolute position, but I can, because that would make sense, right? Because a camera in one position with the frustrums would cull differently to the camera, like n units to the left. You need a boolean inside. Yeah. No. Let me finish writing the code, and we'll get there. In fact, actually, I think I don't like his code, and we'll optimize it slightly. But let's get there. Okay, so then you take that, the dot product of that, with then a new vector for, which will be the AABB min.x AABB min. Actually, I think it's do AAB. No, I'm going to do all these separate because it makes the code. I made this mistake last time. The code lines up easier. Close this down. So much going on. Oh, so much code. Right, AABB dot min dot z, and then sure 1.0f. Like, I mean, it's one of my favorite floats, if not top 3 floats. And then what he basically does is he takes that and then says if that is less than 0.0, then it's 1.0f, else it's 0.0f. But what I think... Wait, what have I done wrong? Too few arguments to function. To which function? To vector4, thanks. Which one? That should work because that's a vector 3, and that should. So it's gonna be this one. Why is it not like? Hold on. Where are? Oh, because it's static. God damn it. I think what I want actually then is that, and then that. Yes, correct. Dot is indeed not a main function. Do I have any prior professional experience on disassembling coding or self-taught? I worked in cybersecurity for like 6 or 7 years, mainly as a developer. Killy Papa subscribe. Thank you very much with Prime. Much appreciated on the Twitches. I used to work in cybersecurity and I dabbled in kind of both sides of the coin. I'd say my bread and butter is probably forward engineering, but I have done my fair share of reverse engineering. And that's kind of what I guess the videos are more reverse engineering and the streams are more forward engineering, I'd say. So I kind of get the best of both worlds. We're attempting to make a game from scratch, or as much from scratch as possible. I say attempting. So I'll end up this way. Potentially, I've not. I just want to get one line compiling first. I don't understand why it can't. This is a static method, right? Which I've not saved. We'll ignore that. I don't understand. It should be able to. It should infer those types. I think I need to see I think I need to see a real compiler error. Maybe because it's context for. I mean, I don't understand why context for would have anything to do with type deduction. Like, to be honest, I say that very flippantly. In somewhere in the 2,000 pages spec of the language, it's probably like, you're wrong. Oh, hang on, what's this? Undeclared. Oh, have I just poorly specced out the new constructor? The Frustum member Not vectoring. It is vectoring and float, right? So, but is that not what I've got? Like, have I not said plain.normal and plain.distance, right? So this is this clearly is vector 3, and so these I'm trying to take these and like smash them at high speed into this to get a vector 4. But I'm failing to see. I'm literally, my brain cannot understand where I've gone wrong. Const W. I don't tend to, whilst I'm an absolute stickler for const correctness, I don't tend to const pass by value variables because you get fresh copy of them anyway, so I'm not mutating any state outside of it. One could argue they should be const because I would const all the variables inside it. Maybe that's just a shortcoming on my part. I don't tend to const those. You need to call the constructor, I believe. But like, this should call the constructor, right? Like, yeah, we think it doesn't like this, but what I'm saying is I don't know. I mean, okay, fine. Let's for the avoidance of doubt, let's be explicit. Oh, also, this returns a float, and this should be. That will cast it, but I don't really like implicit casts anyway. But let's just let's just double check that. Do I use SIMD often? I have probably never written a SIMD instruction in my life other than like once, I think, to have a play around with it. Like, I fully trust the compiler to vectorize my code. I know a guy who writes the SIMD library and is very much an expert in the area, and I said to him, do I need to be writing my own SIMD code? And he was like, if the compiler can do it, it will do it better than you can do it. The only time you need to kind of step in is if it's in a situation where the compiler can't do it, and I think that's quite rare. I mean, that's a big question. Let me cogitate on that for a second while I kind of formulate an answer for you. Also, because somewhat selfishly, I think that would, whatever I say will cut up into a good short, which I guess is a bit selfish of me. No, Haran's left me. He's probably raiding. All right, what's the compiler say? Like, I'm making a stupid mistake, and I apologize. It's been a long day. I should be better than this. So the question is, while this churns through and reveals more misery for myself, you want to start learning C++, your goal is to build a game engine, the internet is full of news that AI will replace programming. Do you think you should start? I think yes, like, I still think programming is still a valuable skill, and I don't think AI is going to replace programming jobs. I think AI will be a tool that will make your life easier, but I still think there's no. The way I use AI and I kind of view it is that it's great for writing code you probably already knew how to write, just takes less time. I don't think it's great for writing stuff that you don't know how to write, because that's probably a quite complex task, which it will sort of reveal the shortcomings of the underlying technology, and two, if you don't understand it, then how are you going to know if it's right? So I think, also, like you said, you're 17. I think you've got nothing to lose by learning software engineering. C++ is a tough language to start with. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's tough. There's a lot to it. It's an old language with now lots of kind of best practices and conflicting advice that have changed over time. I think building a game engine is a great project, but should absolutely not be your first. But yeah, that's kind of my views on it. I can kind of give maybe some more helpful advice if you think so, but I don't see any reason to not learn to program at the moment. Oh, someone there with the quadrat demonstratum. Nice, love it. I'd say, like, I've said this before, I think C is not a bad place to start if you're interested in systems programming. If you want to learn about pointers, about manual memory management, about sort of low-level details, C is like not a bad place to start because the language is quite simple compared to C++, which has a lot of chuff in it, like a lot of chuff, which will, I think, distract you from the underlying principles. So I think, but I mean, like if you just want to start somewhere, like I would throw Python or JavaScript, just pick one and follow some guides. Yeah, I mean, like I think like what it's used for and the value it has for you learning are two separate concepts, and they're somewhat orthogonal. Like I think you can learn a language because it has things to teach you, without the view that you'll use it professionally, if that makes sense. Again, like procedural and OOP, they're just tools, right? I think procedural is probably simpler to understand. Like a lot of what my role is teaching people programming, like junior engineers, and from all sorts of different like degrees and backgrounds and stuff like that, and people who've not had that much exposure to OOP, it can be quite confusing. So I think just learning like if statements and for loops and basic control flow, sure. What am I doing wrong? I literally don't understand. It's saying here, right? Missing type specifier int assumed. Have I got I bet I've got a circular dependency. I bet that's it. I 100% bet that's it. And I said, oh, it's not going to be an issue, and it 100% is. I bet vector 3. I don't know how to break that with header-only code with 4 dependencies. I guess something modules. I think the easiest thing is to not bother or not worry about it. But I strongly suspect that is the source of my issues. So here should be .x plain dot normal. It makes the code at this point slightly grosser, but still I like it. Oh, of course it's not. I was literally about to put, well, if I had any hair left, I would have pulled it out. But this should now do type inference, well, sorry, type deduction. I've lost my if statement. Where'd that go? Yeah. Apologies if you're learning English. It's a terrible language. I don't think you should arbitrarily limit yourself. Like, I'm not going to learn this. Like, learn it and then form your own opinion and find it's just a tool, right? There will definitely be a place where that tool is applicable. I think kind of shutting yourself off from certain problem-solving pathways is not how I would approach learning. Oh man, it's busy chat. Space or tabs? So the correct answer is tabs, but I use spaces because it's so ingrained in my kind of product of my upbringing and all the training I've had, and all the experiences I've had, and I just have four spaces. But I believe the correct answer to be tabs. I've just not brought myself to change yet. So yeah. So then I think I want to do if out is equal to 8.0f, then return false. Okay, now we're going to get a lot of code. So basically what I need to do this is for each of the corners and accumulate them. But I think this is like wrong in the sense that, like, why am I accumulating floating point values to check if they're all true? This should be a Boolean, and these should be Boolean operators. So I think actually what I want is like false. This is, and then and equals what's this? What did I do? Is that right? Right, is that right? I got my Boolean logic around. It starts false, I'm going to and in each time that is less than 0, and then if it's not, if any of them are basically, if any of them are false, I want to stop. So is that, I hate Boolean logic. I think it's and, right? Because that's, I only want to return false if all are false. No, I don't think so. I think I want to return false if any of them are false, right? Like, this is, I want to return false if and only if all of these are true, because they could only be true if they all accumulate to 8. So I need to check that these are, in fact, actually, am I... am I getting ahead of myself? Right. I feel like I want that, and then return, and then if, only if res return false. Kind of curious why it doesn't like my initializer list, because I could have, I don't really want to allocate it. Can I? Oh, apparently we are rebuilding everything. Why is it? I'm actually wasting time now. I probably could have already solved this if I just did this the hard way, but I kind of... Right, so stood ranges all of res. That should 100% work on an array that it knows the compile time. That's literally, I'm absolutely shocked if that doesn't work. What am I? Does all of need a predicate? No, it should just... Oh, it does need a predicate. Interesting. Okay. That's easy enough to do, because then we can just do auto E, turn E. There we go. Right, okay. Now I'm happy. I've used ranges, now I'm happy. I do have to. Yeah. Okay. Fine. For some reason, I could have sworn it had a non-predicated predicated overload. So if all of these return true, then return false. Okay. And now we should be able to do that, give ourselves a new line, and then 3, right, okay, and then we should be able to do, well, there's going to be there should be 8 of these, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, look at that, beautiful. Right, I'm just going to quickly go through and check these, so this should go min, max, min, max, min, so I think this goes min, steady, 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 stay on target, min, max, min, max, min, max, min, max. I don't want too many. 1, 2, 3. 8, cheeky. Right, and then these go. The Y's go min, min, max, max, min, min, max, max, min, min, max, max, min, min, max, max, and then the Z's go min, 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 max, 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 which is what I was expecting. I've just changed the wrong ones, haven't I? Right, min, min, max, max, min, min, max, max, min, 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 max, 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 max. Nailed it. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of Python. I could compare. I wonder actually maybe actually the correct answer is to store the floats and use the predicate to check that they're all less than 0. Maybe that is conceptually cleaner. Oh yeah, good point. Good, good spot. Okay, whatever. Let's run something and see where. Let's have a look why it doesn't work. We have used variant. We've used it in the event handling. Our event is a variant of all the other event types, and then we use the lambda, whatever it's stuff to pull that. Okay, right. So this is not moving. So in theory, that's even worse than before. At least it moved a little bit before. So I think what someone was asking was where we used variants. Our event is a variant of all these types, and then to loop through them, we do visit with forward reference to lambda, and then if const expr out all the different types. Let's sanity check. Assuming this chap is correct, and I have no reason to believe he is not, let's have a think about what's going on. So obviously we've assumed this is right, and this could be wrong. And then here we loop through all the planes. Now I believe, let me see if I can find his code. His Frustum 3 is a vec4 M plane, and I believe that these M planes are the normal and the distance. It's kind of hard to verify that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. So we stuff our XYZ distance into all these, and then we basically go through each one, and then it's true if it's less than 0, right? This is what the ternary says here. If it's less than 0, you add 1, otherwise you add 0. And then we do that with the dot product of all these various things. which I think are right. If it's less than 0, then we return true, so we accumulate all these, and then we say at the end, if it's equal to 8, i.e. all these were true, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then you return false, otherwise you keep going, and you return true. Yes, I've seen the overload lambda trick before. It's nice, but I just, when I was writing it, that's just what popped to my head first. But yeah, that is true. So I'm kind of a bit of an impasse here, right? I guess like what is wrong? I'm inclined to believe this is wrong, so I might go and rewrite this just for the lack of a better thing to do. Min max min max min max min max min min max max min min max max min 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 max 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 max. Yeah, write a test for the Frustum plane. It's kind of hard to. Yeah, we might have to construct a test. I'm just trying to think in my mind, like if I can even visualize constructing a test that makes sense. As in, like I find it hard to visualize like what these should actually be. But like what output am I logging, right? Like I know it's false. I've actually wired this up, haven't I? I'm not. So check visible. Calculates the Frustum planes from the camera, which is a reference, so that gets updated. In fact, we know it all works. That all works. And then we return in, and then if it intersects, if the box was in the frustrum, right? I gotta get the logic right. I mean, it doesn't matter if the logic is wrong because it doesn't move whether you're looking at it or not. Then we basically tell it to stop. Let's just check we update the AABB correctly. So for each of the entities, we zip through those with their associated lights. We set the state AAB to be the AAB of the transformed entity, which is the AAB from the previous tick, but it's not the end of the world. I don't care. And then we get the delta, we update the thing, and then we also update the minimax of the AABB. Yeah, what we might do is that's a good point. We could take a reference implementation, something like GLM. Does GLM have a frustum from camera? Can I create a GLM frustum from the... Not late. We've barely started. We've barely made any progress. I don't know Bruno Opthinch's blog. Is that which you were suggesting that for how would tell me how to in GLM create a frustum from a camera? I found a PDF. Oh, that's a lot of maths. I might give the... So it looks like there is a GLM Frustum... Get what I'm looking at. That takes... that like the near plane? I was just going to look at the source. Frustum. I'm going to get it wrong every time. Right. Where's the GLM source? I think the plane's code is wrong. Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, what we'll do is, right, we'll use this code here, okay, to recalculate that. And then failing that, we will go and find some GLM code somewhere, or we'll code that up in GLM and then give it a go. So the problem is I don't expose any of these things to the outside world, which is a little bit annoying. Of const float auto width const float auto height const float auto near plane const float auto far plane const float. Okay, right, and then we'll just right. Camera class is getting beefy. Right. Okay. Absolutely not what I wanted. Okay, so we got the camera, and then we just need to shove all these into the requisite private member hole. Near plane and far plane. Far plane, right. Okay, store those off. I know. I wanted to try trading return types for this project to see how I feel about it, and turns out I feel kind of okay about it. It's an endless source of discussion on the streams as well, which is nice, and also means I can do this. Alright, format that, and then right, okay, bit of boilerplate, sorry. And format, right. I don't know why it's italic. It just always has been, and now I'm kind of Stockholm syndromed into accepting it. There is no benefit, as far as I can tell, to trading return types other than aesthetics, as in like they will line up. It does mean that if you want to use auto return type, as in so effectively as a template, then that is now a template. Obviously, wrong place. Do you know what I mean? But like, I think for me, lots of questions about my style. That's absolutely fine. I think for me, one of the reasons I now like it is that I think it I think it conceptually reads better for the, like, I think it reduces the cognitive overhead of like the things I care about. Like, I think I care more, this is not a great example, I think I care more about the name of the function and its arguments before I care about the return type. So actually reading left to right, I think I get the information in a higher, like, priority order. I think that's a little bit, it feels silly to say, and I don't think it makes a massive difference to, like, my life or anything, but just generally those are the things I care about more. So if you have like a really long return type, it's out the way. I never, personally for me, I never bother with inline getters or anything like that. Unless it's templates, by and large, or const expr headers are basically for documentation and for API, for communicating interface, and implementation goes in CPP file. That's kind of how I've always done it. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong, but that's just how I do it. I like to keep them separated. What was I doing? Right, okay, fine. Let's write some code. Okay, let's delete some code. Let's get rid of all this. So I've got my planes, which is cool. And then they've got like a const auto half v, actually it's v side, actually it's the vertical side, is the camera dot far plane times stood tan of the camera dot field of view times by 0.5f. Another good float. Not my top 5, but still not bad. Const auto half h side, horizontal side, is the half b side times the aspect ratio, which I think is going to be what, camera dot width over camera dot height. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the aspect ratio. They've got it as a separate variable. Camera photo view times 0.5. Is that not what I've got? I don't understand quicker. I think what I missed, just the Y component. Field of view is a float, isn't it? It's an angle. Unless field of view, I thought field of view was like an angle, like pi over 8 or something. Yeah, okay, you following along with the code? Yeah, I saw that as well, and I thought it was a little bit strange. But I'm glad you're checking. Const auto front mult far, great variable name. One for the record books. Cam dot camera dot direction question mark times camera dot far. Okay, and then we can do it. In fact, actually, I think get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. I think we can just now do camera dot position plus camera dot near plane times camera dot direction camera dot direction. I think we can just do all these in line now. Okay, and then got a lot of these to write out. Do I copy and paste that code? Is that bad? Probably. Okay. Anyway, camera dot. I think it's all some variation of camera dot direction plus the front mult far minus then negate the camera dot direction, and then what's it doing? What? Some of them are over here, some of them are over there. It's impossible to say. Camera dot direction. Nope. Already made a mistake. Position. It does not matter in future. We wait for testing it. Yeah. Right. Position. Camera dot position. Game vector 3 cross. Front mult far minus camera dot right times half side, and then camera dot up. Oh, back over here. Camera dot position. Game vector 3 cross. Camera dot up. Front mult far plus camera dot Jesus right times the half H side. I'm going to get one of these H sides wrong somewhere. I can feel it. And then back. Why? Have I missed a thing somewhere? I have, haven't I? That should be there. That's why. And then I've missed a thing there. Okay, and then camera dot position. Game vector 3 cross. We're nearly there, guys. We're nearly there. I can feel it. Camera dot right. Front mult far minus camera dot up times half of the V side. Right, last one. Camera dot position. Game vector 3 cross. Front mult far plus camera dot. Let's press 7 people hanging around for this. Camera dot up times half the V side. Camera dot right. Okay, and then close that bracket. Close that. Oh, have I not got an up? I bet the camera doesn't have an up because I've just assumed it's always going to be up. Right, okay, fine. Easy to fix. Const auto up equals game vector 3 0.0f 1.0f 0.0f. Okay, and then up camera dot up, and then just cf that and just replace that with an up, and then we'll go with it. Not it. That's watching someone else go through the pain. First one is wrong. Position times camera near plane. No. Oh yeah, you're right. Isn't it? Okay, fine. That should be that. What's going on? I keep getting like all my streaming stuff. It keeps disconnecting from YouTube. I have no idea what's going on. I think it's just disconnected again. Hang on. It has. Why does it keep? Okay, well I've lost YouTube chat, so that's grand. Hang on. Right. I can like not show all my passwords. All right. Right. Going there next. Hold on one moment, caller. Right. Now I need to clear my clipboard before I accidentally copy and paste my password somewhere. Yes, it's me. Google thinks the streamer software I use is suspicious activity, and I don't really know how to tell it it's not, like, because it really isn't. 400, that's an error. Great. I might have to close this down. Hang on. I feel like this happens every stream and it's really irksome. Like, the streamer bot software is really good, but I just don't know why it keeps getting disconnected from YouTube. Platforms, YouTube, account, sign in. Sign in. Continue. Yes. Have all the permission. I'm okay with this. Right, chat. Chat window. Hello. Hello. Computer. Hello. Broadcasts. Right, okay. I think we're back. Someone say something on YouTube. Nice. Okay. And that's not just a way of me fudging the engagement. Okay. No variable conversion from vec3 to float. That should be handled. So the way I've constructed vector 3, this, unless I've not done all the operations. No, my neck's just buggered anyway. I blame kids. So I think there's a lot to unpack here. The first is like, why is it not compiled? So let me just check what the compiler says. Yeah, so cannot convert from vector 3 to float. Interesting. I think the issue is actually there. So the issue here is there. Okay, so their plane is a normal and a distance, and then they set their yeah. Yeah, that doesn't make any. I don't understand their code, because how could that possibly be a float? What am I missing? Yeah, I know, right? It's a distance. It's a float. What I'm saying is they're constructing their frustum.nearface, right? Is a plane. Their plane is a vector and a distance. So to construct use aggregate initialization on a plane, you would have to pass it a normal and a distance. Right, sorry, a vector 3 and a float, but they're passing it a vector and a vector. Or have I? If someone's saying something about 0.0, what have I don't understand the. I'm missing where so I'm pretty sure 0.0.f will work. I don't normally use it because I prefer it to be consistent. I don't understand why everyone's seeing this. Unless you're seeing it in here, but then this is fine. Cam front is a vector. Well, that's a good point. I'm going to assume it's a vector. Where's that? They normally have all the source code somewhere. Where's the code here? Front is a vector. In the tutorial, yeah, I'm sure it's fine. So what my like. I'm failing to understand this code. Right? Right, frustration. Right, where's this? Let's actually have a look in their actual code. Right. Where have they? It's unlikely to be in here. Is it in camera? Is it in camera? Is it in entity? Right, okay. So they pass their camera in, and camera.front is definitely 100% a vector. So how is that? How they? Unless does GLM vectory have an implicit cast to float? Why OpenGL in 2025? Well, we started in 2024, so I guess the question is why OpenGL in 2024, and the answer is why not? Vulkan is horrifically complicated. Yeah, I don't want to give up on this just because we've hit a roadblock, and then just because I feel like I'll just be forever bouncing around articles. Like, I'm now genuinely curious why this doesn't work. If we get to the end of the stream and it doesn't work, then sure, try another one next time. Yeah, the f suffix makes the literal a float, because otherwise the compiler will be a double. But again, that's not. I'm really. Where have they defined their plane? Have they put some extra stuff in plane? Here we go. Extra magic going on in the constructor that they failed to mention in the article. You dot it with the distance is that dot with that. Sneaky extra code. I thought I was going mad. I might actually have to emulate that, only because yeah, I think it might have to be a lambda, because what am I thinking? Because you need to reference that several times. Or I just Or just have a yeah. Let's have a lambda. In fact, no. Let's just auto to plain const auto v1 const auto sorry vector 3, so that would be the, it's basically this the position, isn't it? And then the const game vector 3 normal will become a game Frustum plane. Okay, so this will return P, and then we're going to do game vector 3 dot pn. Right, it's np. I don't think that makes any difference, but okay. Just bit shift it. Right, okay, so now to plain like all good Vim users, I will now use my mouse to speed this up. Spelt that wrong. Right, now we're cooking with gas. The reason to have camera get and CPU killing inline is for no reason. I still think I would hope that LTO should be able to inline that. I think it's more of a personal preference. I prefer to purely separate the definition from the declaration, as in like header files should be the API, like the description of what you have, and then the CPU file is the implementation. So it's more of a personal preference, just how I've always done it. Like, I get your point that it might affect inlining. Without pulling it all apart and having a look, it's hard to say. And as that is not on the hot path or something I know I need to optimize at the moment, I would rather go for code clarity and consistency over that for the moment. But yeah, it's a good point. That's kind of my view on it. I do have an air fryer. It's pretty sweet. Okay, right. Still doesn't seem to be working. I got I was not expecting to talk about this today. The Ninja double tray one. Okay, I think we need to take a step back and, well, let me just double check the maths here is correct. I say correct as in like in line with the article, and then I think we need to go and write some tests to figure out where the breakage in our understanding is. So yeah, I get your point. I think for me, I would rather consistency in terms of the separation of declaration and definition amongst all the code, and then change it when need to. But again, that's more a personal preference, I think, than like hard gospel. People should feel free to slap the code wherever they want. Something modules. But yeah. You make a good point. I don't really have a great defense for it, other than just that it's just kind of the way I've always done it, which is not a great reason, I will admit, but in this case, it is just the way I've always done it. Okay, so file plane, tanf, field view 5. Also, this is I want to check that of Y. Where's that coming from? There's the 1, 2 is the third argument. There's the radians of the camera zoom. I think that's right. I'm not too worried about that. Okay, so the aspect ratio is the width over the height times the V side. You've got Z far times far plane times that. And then we do position plus near times direction, position plus multiplier minus direction, position, and then we go the cross of the front multiplier minus the camera right times the half side and the up, and then we do cross of the up with the far right plus camera right plus half side. Cross of the camera right, far right side minus up the half side, and then far. That looks pretty cromulent to me. I think we need to have a go at testing some of this. Plane. Normal equals distance equals obj dot normal obj dot distance. Okay, right, so now we need to pull this code out to somewhere more useful, I guess. Okay, I want to test this. I'm going to have to pull this out to utils. I don't really know. I almost feel like it could be part of the camera class itself. Could be a little bit of rework, but actually not too bad. So that's I've also put the Frustum in the wrong place, but it's not the end of the world. And then we're going to want code's getting a little bit messy now. I think we're definitely going to take some time to tie this up. I really just want to get this bit working because I don't actually need to store this now, but we've got it. We've got it there anyway. So auto Frustum planes. Flip array, Frustum plane 6U. Okay. It's sus. Right. Okay. Fine. Uh, 64. We're gonna want this as well, I imagine, but we'll stick this up here. Nice. Okay. In fact, actually, I can just call those functions. Okay, nice. Okay, okay. Let's just quickly fix up main because this is no longer going to work. Somewhere down here, it's going to need to do state.camera.frustum planes. Okay. Hey, see, glad you're here. We have made very little progress today. You have not missed a lot. Okay, so let's just check that that does indeed blend. Nice. Sounds cool. If you've not rewritten the code 4 times, have you even written it once? Build sister is CMake with Ninja. Okay, right. So let's do tests. Camera tests.cpp. I don't have a lot of code. I think it's about 4,000 or 5,000 lines, but there is a couple of libraries which I've reluctantly used because I don't want to write them from scratch. So there's Jolt and Asimp, which I guess are kind of like. But I mean, incremental building, you should only really be building my code. So I guess I don't know. I've not, having worked on like massive code bases before, I'm really not that fussed by static and build times. Like this feels absolutely fine to me. Nope, it's debug build with nothing on. It's just slow. It's probably because it's probably maybe the compiler is thinking is slow. Or it's WSL. It's hard to say. Sometimes it gets stuck as well. So it's just like my build system is a little bit esoteric and definitely not for everyone, but it works for me. Yeah, I know. Do you think like I know what you're trying to do? I've just always done that as like a way of just checking I've got the tests set up. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Probably wrong. Okay, right. That's integrated nicely. Okay. So now let's have a look. I'm going to just use the test just to drive the code to start with. So print. So what? Auto camera equals camera. You know what? I'm just gonna take whatever we have in main. Here we go. And I've got 1080.0f. probably helps if I actually include the thing I want to test. Okay. Let's check the blends. Okay. Fix up my terrible build system. Okay. So let's do for const auto planes equals camera.frustum planes for const. I just want to have a look at what's like. Does it? I'm not saying I'm gonna fully understand what's coming out of it, but like if the numbers are like nan or like infinite, then we know we've got a problem. Then we can maybe kind of roughly visualize and see if we think we know what's going on. Okay, and then what's it? Is it gtest filter? Gtest filter. Tests unit fuck's sake. Tests unit test.exe gtest filter equals camera start. Okay. Lowercase. Obviously, I prefer lowercase. So I don't know why I thought that would not be the case. Okay. So we've got got eight faces, 6 faces. All right, that's how many sides in a cube, ish, a squashed cube. The normals are yes, my plane has a printing. I just had it a second ago. Sorry, did you not see? I literally just slapped this in here. I have written a generic formatter that uses CPO to find free and member toString functions, and it's really nice. I really want to integrate into this, but it's just I just don't need it at the moment. So at the moment I just copy and paste that around. But that's I really enjoyed writing that, and I do want to write that live. Rewrite it live and kind of go through it because there's a lot of fun stuff in there. Anyway, I feel like this is wrong. I don't feel like 4 of the faces should have an up normal. Oh, is the camera not a 0? Ah, well done. Good spot. So what my camera... I'm like... I'm all in on the printers to print ln. Like, see how it's dead to me. Position, look at, up. So maybe we want to step it back a bit so we're not like just looking at ourselves. I don't know if the maths, if it affects the maths. Or I guess alternatively, we could just look down the Z plane. Deep breath, deep breath. Yeah, I know, right? Like, sounds rubbish. Okay, I feel like these are... This feels fundamentally wrong to me. I don't know about you. I feel like 4 of the 6 planes should not have a 0 normal and 0 distance, with the last one being -0, just for funsies. So I think we can probably ascertain from this that this code is wrong. What I'm trying to think about in my head is, do I try and compile their code using GLM to get the right answer out, or do I just stare really hard at what we've written to try and figure out the difference? I feel like the answer might be both. Let's have a quick look at what we've written. Yeah, the near and far looks right, because well, no, because I don't think they should both be negative, right? Surely one should be negative and one should be positive. In the where's the picture? Where's the picture? One of the near plane, that's a good point actually. What I'm unsure of in the maths is where the normal is on these planes. Is it pointing inwards or is it pointing outwards? Pointing outwards. So the near plane should have a positive z, because it's pointing the positive, and then the far plane should have a negative z. So in fact, this then is potentially right. Okay, small little rounding error, not too fast. 0 minus 1,000, distance 1,000. Unless are these supposed to be normalized because they're normals, and then the distance tells you how far along it is. So we've got other problems as well. Okay, right. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's go back to their code. Yeah, exactly. They are wrong. So these top two are the near and far planes. So there's so it does invert the inverts the direction, right? Which the way I'm looking. So I'm looking down the negative. So I think that's the direction I'm facing is -z. So that would make sense, right? So why is that? So I'd expect this one to be minus and this one to be positive. Why is that? Oh no, wait a minute. That's the n, right? Isn't it? Oh, so that is right. Okay, that's fine. I think. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I got myself confused for a second there. Times tan of field of view by 0.5. Okay, let's see if we can get some better answers out of their code. And also, we've done this before. We've had to do this before on a stream, and I can't remember how any of it works. So Sure, that seems like a good a version as any. And then take that. Try and make this window a little bit more manageable in terms of size. Okay, so I'm missing. What? Where'd that go? Come back. So they're Frustum class, which I think is that plane is that right? Just shamelessly have some of that. What we can do with this is then, if we're convinced this works, we can roll this into a test as just like a known case. I think this is what we're going to be doing for the next half an hour or so. Buckle up. Close. And then whatever their camera does, I might as well steal that as well. Probably just that. I set this field of view to be, I think it's 45 degrees Celsius? 45 degrees, 45 degrees, sorry, not radians. I think I just want this one. I don't think. Oh, do I need their? I suppose I better have it just in case. Whatever the update camera what was it? Wrong one. Hold on one moment, caller. Sure, I'll have one of those. I just want to see what the right answer is. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so that seems a little bit happier. Not sure what the errors are. Speed was not declared sensitivity to. Oh my goodness, right. Sure, okay. Have those as well, I guess. Okay. Sorry, I said 45 degrees, but it is in radians because I definitely do it as pi over 4. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm kind of half watching the chat. I'm going to chip in where I think I need to. I think I like using NeoVim and Tmux. Like, that is my preferred workflow. It's not for everyone, but it's for me. But I have a Windows machine, so I can kind of marry those two up by using WSL. It is by no means for everyone. You do not have to copy me. You don't have to think this is the only way to code, but it works for me and I like it. And I'm going to keep using it. Okay, right, okay. So let's do output, nope. Output, execute the code, get a link error because I haven't got a main. Really annoy everyone by doing auto main int. Okay, let's bring in, I think I'm going to need IOStream for this because it won't have print. And isn't there like a special header you have to include to get access to the GLM print functions. Right, okay. Where do they construct their camera? Here we go. Yeah, I mean, I used to use VS Code pointing to a WSL instance as well, so like it's all possible. That's it. Thank you. I knew someone would know it, and I was pretty sure it would have been you, Quacko. So thank you very much. GLM ext.hpp hash include GLM / GTX. Obviously, where else would your string cast header file be? Wow, something's really gone wrong. So now my live view count of how many people are watching on YouTube is gone. So I can only assume it's thousands. No, yeah, you're just googling stuff. I get distracted by people. Okay, right. So I've got that, and then they do. I don't need this. Frustum. So this is exactly what they do. I need to make sure their numbers match up to mine. So my source width is 192.0.0f divided by CT 1080.0f. I don't know what their camera zoom is. That's the only thing I'm not entirely sure about. How they kind of, what that kind of becomes. And what these are. Let's have a quick look at their camera class. Jesus. All right, go to that. Okay, camera. We used this constructor. So up is the same. Your pitch is fine. Is the default one. So they have the 0. What's their look at? Or do they not have one? I think that's the same as our default yaw as well. We're getting a little bit. It's going a little bit hard in the comments there. I'm going to start applying timeouts, I think, because mainly because I just don't have the time to be keeping on top of that and doing this. So let's just get this building and we'll start seeing some numbers out, I think. So the frustum is a bunch of planes. So, and the planes are the normal in the distance. So let's do stood cout cam frustum dot near plane dot what do you it was? Normal. Okay. Normal cam. I'll put the R in there again. I just can't not do it. Frustum dot near plane dot distance. Near face. Okay. So they... Doesn't like... Do I have to cast it to a string? Is that what the string cast does? I think we can just move on from that whole thing now. Like, let's talk about something constructive. Like, why does none of my code work? That's the real question. It has GLM2 string. Okay, fine. Of course it is. Right. I put the R in there again. God damn it. Okay. So we're expecting something like this. Okay, and we are absolutely not getting that. So I think the question... So sorry, I'm going to have to just make this just a tad smaller because it's really doing my nut in. I think we've got quite a lot to unpack here because I need to kind of work out why our inputs are giving different outputs, but like also do our inputs match what they've got? I think that's what I'm trying to say, right? Like, am I even constructing the same camera? I suspect the answer is probably not. Can I go a little bit smaller? Okay, right. I think. So someone said, look at this. So they update their camera vectors. So their front vector normalized. I think our front vector is normalized though. Direction creates direction, and we normalize that based on the yaw pitch and etc. But our default yaw is minus 90 degrees, and theirs is minus 90 degrees. Okay, so we're aligned with the synergy there. Everything else should be fine. So why? Okay, so let's... I think what we could do is we could print out some of these and see what's different, right? I think. Does that seem fair? Oh, I'm gonna have... Wish there's what? I'm gonna have to write to Matt Godbolt and ask him to put a debugger in this. Come on. So let's have a look. So what have we got? We've got aspect, FOVI, third near. I might as well just print everything out, right? So far, and then is that all I need for now? I think so. Aspect, FOVI, Zanir, Zafar, wherever you are. Wow, no one's... Sorry, James, no one's perfect. We all make mistakes. Maybe I just didn't see it. I'm using online compiler because I am trying to compare my balked implementation against what I hope to be a legit implementation using a third-party maths library that I've not used. So I can, as you can see, like I can now compare my code to this. I'm not making an entire game in Godbolt. That would be pretty mad. Yes, I do have a plan for the game. It's not a generic engine. I'm very, very keen to not be building an engine. I want to build a game. So every bit of code I write, we write, should be in kind of service of progressing the game. And so I'm not making it generic. I'm not trying to think what other people might need at this point. I'm glad you like the videos. Thank you very much. Compiler Explorer is incredible, right? You can have like whole CMake projects built into it. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's have a look at what we've got here. So we've got near and far, sure, 0.100, sure, and then the FOVI, that looks about right. That looks like pi/4. And then the aspect is that. So I think those are fine. I suppose we could just double check that on ours. So camera. So we want print. It's going to, what was 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got the aspect ratio, which I did as width over height. I've got FOV. I've got near plane, and I've got far plane. Ours of far is 1,000, yes. I'm not sure if that's like the root cause of the issue. So 1.77, 0.785, 0.1, 1,000. 1.778. Sorry, we're flicking back and forward a little bit. So I think that's fine. Like, I think the inputs are correct. So therefore, the maths question mark. So what's cam? Okay, right. Okay, fine. Now we can start looking at some of the other more interesting specific bits of it. So let's do stud print. Can I combine this? Can I do glm to string cam dot position glm to string cam dot front. It will affect the face. Okay, yeah. I and it is a test, so I will concede that you are correct. Let's be good scientists and try and keep all of our like reproducible environment. Okay, so we've got so their camera is at 10 and their front facing is -1. I think we got slightly different, but so their camera is actually up in the air. Yeah, I think you can build a renderer. I think like relatively, you can go to learnopenGL.com. You can follow it through, and you can build a renderer. I think not too difficult because that's what we did. I don't think that the render rebuild is particularly complex at all. I think all the chuff that goes with it to actually make a game is the complex part, which is why I'm kind of keen to just focus on what we need for a game. Like we started at, we've got a little debug UI which we needed just for testing stuff with, and we've not needed to add anything more to it yet. So it's kind of in a state that is needed for now, and then maybe we'll extend it when we need it. Okay, so what did I so we've got, what am I printing out? The position and the front. So let's do print then position, and I call it direction. Yeah. Well, we haven't even done UI. We're gonna have to do a UI at some point for the game, like a menu and stuff. So, so what did I print after? I print that, and then I've got. So my camera is at the origin, and theirs is up in the air, which we can fix. That's fine. And then they're looking down, -1, which is fine. Okay, so we're all looking the same direction. It's just that my camera needs to go up in the air a little bit. Like, if you disagree with anything I'm doing, or if you see a mistake, do shout it out. Cracker's there. He's like, I'll find the mistake, and then I will let him know immediately. Okay, so I think are we convinced that our camera is now at this point in the code, we are aligned with the GLM, as in like our inputs are correct. We've got the same aspect ratio, FOV near and far, and we've got the same camera position and look at. Okay, like a slight rounding, like float issue, but I don't really care. So we convinced, right? Agreed. Okay, one person agrees with me, which is all I'm really looking for in life. Okay, so it must be all this shit. Is your two-plane extension definitely correct? Almost certainly not. Like, almost certainly not. What's theirs do? So they stuff into their face, which is a plane, which is a very strange sentence when you take it out of context. So they've stuffed their face, which is a plane, into here. Oh, shoot. Have I missed? Have I? That still doesn't. Ah, and then they've used the normalized one there. That's kind of quite subtle. That they've got norm there. They normalize it there, and then they use the normalized one with the dot product. So I need to do const auto normal equals game vector3 normalize n, and then normal fn normal. What do you mean p's not you? Hang on. Ooh. Okay. Have I normalized the wrong thing? You sure? Is it? I want to normalize the normal, and then the distance is the dot of that with P1. I think that's right. Okay, so this looks better. So their near face is 0, 0, -1, 0.1. Ooh, ooh. Do we just run it? Send it. Damn it. Okay, still not quite there yet. We're getting there. What is 6u? Is that the same as f, but means unsigned? Yeah, so C++ has a bunch of suffixes that you can apply to integers, because by default, any number literal, whole number, will be a signed integer, and any real number will be a double. So if you want to influence that, then you can use the suffixes to do it, to change that. I tend to be explicit, especially with signed and unsigned and float. I imagine like 99.9% of the time you'll be fine. The only time you have to care about is if you're using auto, because it will deduce what that literal is. Okay. Let's check all of our planes now against here. So what have they called them? Oh, I really wish this was an array. So they've got near, far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So near, far, right, left, top, bottom. It's spinning. I wish they had this spinning thing in the output. Like, that would be so much more useful. But hey yo, here we are. Right, okay. Can I get these up at the same time? Nope. Okay, so we've got 0, 0, 1, minus 100. 0.8, oh, looking good. Minus 0.5, 0, minus 0.8, minus 5.9, 0, minus 5.9, 0. Minus 0, sure, close enough. 9238 minus 386, 9238. Right, I am reasonably convinced that GLM and I at least agree that these numbers are pretty good. These numbers are pretty good. Pretty good numbers. They're not my favourite floats, especially not after having like spent 2 hours trying to get blood from a stone to reify them on my screen, but here we are. So now the issue is can only be the Frustum test. I just don't know what to do. I feel like we should stick with their implementation of this. So they've got sphere. I don't want sphere. They have where are their shapes? Is on. Such a pain looking around other people's code. What am I up? What is on Frustum? They have all the scaling stuff I don't care about. Also, this is for spheres. I want the. Do they have a volume? Do they? How many of these do they do? Do they do more of them? Okay, not in there. Entity. Aha, right. Bounding volume. Square AABB. Okay. They do it with a transform, which is a little bit annoying. but we could probably work it out because our AABs are effectively pre-transformed, as in we've already applied the thing to them. So how does a global AAB be when it's at home? Oh, it's just there. Okay, fine. Take it all back. See, this is like another way of doing it again. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like every man and their dog has got like their own Frustum AAB algorithm, and none of them work for me. Oh, I don't know. It's getting pretty late now. I was really hoping to have this done. So one more look at this, and then I feel like at the very least progress has been made. He takes the dot. So yeah, I'm not 100% convinced this is right. Just stuffing in the distance as the fourth component is right. Thoughts, feelings? Do we want to find another one? Wasn't there a good Intel? So I'm saying it was a good Intel Frustum AB. Oh, someone said it was Intel occlusion. Occlusion. I don't know. No, I just want. They've got a library. I don't want a library. I just want someone to give me the code. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not sure. Also, again, like what this is assuming. This is assuming that these are all in world space as well, right? So MinX has been transformed. I think that's true based on this diagram, and there's no other transformations applied. Right, sort that out. Yeah. Normal X, normal Y. We could just try vector 4. Oh, I don't even know if I have a normalize on that. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to guess, right? I feel like that's guessing. That's really not the point. I don't want to be. I don't want to guess. I want to know. So, okay, fine. Let's do Frustum AB intersection test. Correct. indeed more barrels. Here we go. What's this? More code. Right. This takes an AAB, okay. This again accumulates, it does based on the corners. So you get the corners of the box in the V corner array. Test all 8 corners against the 6 sides. If all points are behind one specific plane, we are out. If we're all within the points, then we are fully in. This has a side of plane function though. What does the oracle say? Give me C++ code that checks if an AABB is within a frustum all in world space. I feel this is like, this is not rocket surgery, right? This is a solved, this is 100% a solved problem. Right, okay. So it looks like this dotting, right, is very much to do with checking. Well, that makes sense because it's getting the angle right, if I remember correctly, of whether it's inside or outside the plane. I guess like maybe what side of the plane it's on. So you take the dot of the normal. You take the dot of the normal with the point. Then add the add the distance. Iterate over each plane of the frustum. Compute the positive vertex, the vertex farthest in the direction of the plane normal. Okay, fine. I think I get that. You're finding the vertex closest to that plane. And check if the positive vertex is outside the plane. Let's try this. So we're going to do auto positive vertex equals AABB.min. Okay, and then check each of those, which is first, and then they have this plane inside out, and then this is game vector3 dot of the plane dot normal positive vertex plus the plane dot distance is greater than 0.0f. Return false, else return true. Okay, let's give this a go. Let's say, I don't think the maths is that complex. I just don't think I can. I'm just failing to understand it. It's C, this is all C++, all C++. Nothing but the finest handcrafted artisanal C++. All right, let's. Oh. Oh. I think that's working, right? It's the inverse of what I wanted, but all right. But if I just look at this guy, oh, hang on. I think the frustum might be a bit narrow. Like it's nearly there, right? It's not perfect because like he stopped moving. He moves there, but if I don't know. It is 100% not perfect. But like, tenacious little bugger, this isn't he? He won't leave me alone. Yeah, I think we need to draw debug. That I think that's an excellent point. But we'll save that for Sunday. Draw the debug lines for the frustum. Because what I want to do is actually what we might then do is actually detach ourselves from. We'll draw the frustum, and then we will detach ourselves from the camera. I don't know if I can still do that. And then maybe even have a second camera, like a debug camera, so we can see what's going on. Yeah, we're going to do all that. I think it's. I think we'll do that next time. I'm actually quite pleased we made a little bit more progress than I thought we would. Sorry, we didn't make as much progress as I thought we would. I was hoping we'd have this done like all tidied up and nice, but I think at the end of the day, that's pretty good. Any questions, thoughts, feelings before I sign off? I'll get this tidied up. Well, no, I won't tidy it up, sorry. I'll get this commented up. And then Sunday we will finish this off and tidy it up. And then I think we'll be in a pretty good place to have some fun. I don't have a linter, I have a formatter. I have a clang format. Beer is indeed needed. Thank you very much. Right, everyone, hope you had a good time. Thank you very much. Go watch the latest video if you've not, because it's languishing a little bit, which makes me sad, but it's such as life. And we will do some more C++ on Sunday. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'll catch you soon.